Good morning, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Waking Up with Richie. Today's episode 22, so grab a coffee and let's get right into coffee and current events. Okay guys, let's get right into the first current event that I found. So the first one has to do with Burger King, and this one stood out to me because one of my first jobs was actually at Burger King. It's kind of funny because I left one Burger King and then got hired at another one, and so Burger King is testing out reusable packaging for their foods. Now this packaging is going to be used in their foods as well as their drinks. So Burger King is partnering with another company called Loop to sanitize their reusable containers. The program is scheduled to debut in Portland, New York City, and Tokyo next year. Basically, Burger King will offer a refund to customers who purchase items with the reusable containers, and the customers will be granted that refund once they return their containers. McDonald's is also on board with this, and they are going to be testing out the program in the UK next year as well. So we'll just have to see how this turns out. I don't know, how do you guys feel about this? This kind of gives me the EBGBs. I used to work in Burger King, so I know exactly what the work environment is like, and I must also say that I don't eat at Burger King at all. If I do go to Burger King, it's once in a blue moon, and the only thing I get is their Oreo milkshake because I love their Oreo milkshake. It's so good. I don't know what it is about the cream or the ice cream that they use, but their milkshakes are bomb. Let's get right on to the next current event. Okay, so the next current event has to do with the 2021 Ford Bronco. This vehicle has been making headlines, and I'm sure you guys have seen what it looks like, but I will attach a picture of what it looks like right here. So Ford Motor Company has announced that the 2021 Ford Bronco sales will go towards the National Forest Foundation. This one really stood out to me because if you guys don't know, I mentioned a couple videos back, I mentioned that I had dreams of working in the Forest Service again one day. I used to work for the Forest Service when I was 17, and it was the most enjoyable and pleasant job that I've ever had. So I definitely have a respect for Mother Nature and the wilderness and just the open land that our country has to offer. And so the Bronco Wild Fund is being funded by sales of the 2021 Bronco along with merchandise sales. The foundation hopes and plans to raise $5 million each year for the cause. So the money will be donated for reforestation, trail management, outdoor adventures, and educational programs. So basically, the main purpose of this movement is to preserve the American wilderness, which I think is incredibly important. 2 Bronco-based fire and rescue vehicles will be donated to the National Forestry Service. All right, let's move on to the final current event that I found. Okay guys, so the next current event has to do with free internet access, which is amazing, right? So Elon Musk's internet company, which he started recently, is partnering with SpaceX, and this mission that SpaceX is planning will provide free internet to Texas families. Now it's first going to be debuted in Ector County Independent School District. 45 families in this county will get free internet access in early 2021. So for private users, the service will cost $99 a month plus an initial $499, let's just call it $500 down payment. This initial $500 down payment is to cover the Starlink kit cost. So the Starlink kit includes a mounting tripod along with a router. The superintendent of Ector County Independent School District said that the lack of broadband service is a crisis in the county for students. So the Chiefs for Change Foundation is pledging $150,000 to fund this movement, along with other internet connectivity programs in the district. This is amazing, guys. We've never heard of the possibility of free internet, and I think that the first place that we should be integrating free internet is into schools and educational systems. sometimes we forget about those who don't have access to internet. And it's still a thing, even in 2020. Okay guys, well what did you think about those current events? I hope you liked them, I hope you learned something new. Let's move right over into the kitchen because I'm gonna be cooking something new and different for you this morning. Good morning guys. So I'm cooking a new type of breakfast this morning. I kind of got inspired after watching this man's story on YouTube. He just purchased a town in Nevada, in the Nevada desert, and he said he eats bacon, egg, and hot sauce breakfast burritos every morning. So I'm gonna make one of those. I've already made it before. It was really good last time I made it. All you need is some, oh, not bacon, you need some ham. I put some bell peppers in it, 2 eggs, some cheese, and some tortillas. So that's what I'm gonna do. Oh my gosh, I just realized you guys can't even see this. Our egg, ham, and green pepper mixture, which is gonna be like the guts of the breakfast burrito. Over here we have our pan that is heating up. You need to get your tortilla. I'm just gonna have one because I have some fruit that I'm gonna have as a side with it. And now I'm gonna add the ingredients into the tortilla. This is gonna be a big one. Actually, I'm gonna call this a breakfast taco. This. Just taco crazy. It is Tuesday, so we'll call it Taco Tuesday. It looks pretty good though. Look. Ooh, yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat this and then we'll get right into the activity of the day. Hey guys, so I'm gonna be trying out a voiceover on this segment. Now, in this painting, I chose to pre-paint the canvas in a deep yet light brown color. And I wanted to paint something that reminds me of fall when I look at it. So I'd already painted the outline of the pumpkin. And next I created an orange pigment, which was pretty hard to do. I didn't have any orange, except a little bit left, so I had to make it go a long way. So I'm just filling in the pumpkin here, nice and evenly, just to get the base color of the pumpkin. So I'm just going to continue to fill in this pumpkin with that light, bright orange color. I love Halloween and I love fall. This is like my favorite time of year when it starts cooling down, especially here in Arizona. It's been pretty chilly this week. It's been in the low 60s actually, high 50s. So I'm almost done covering the shape in orange, trying to get as much of that white covered as possible. Sometimes I do make a mistake, and as long as you can wipe it up quickly, usually it's no issue. So now I'm just going in and getting the edges of the pumpkin shape covered in orange. Now, after letting the orange paint dry for a little bit, doesn't take long, I am going in with another tone of orange to kind of deepen the shape and give it more dimension and realism. Usually when I'm painting, I have an idea in my head and it changes pretty quickly, and I just kind of go with what feels right and what looks right. So I'm just going to cover that tone that I just painted in this new tone of orange. Okay, now I am making a darker color so I can go in and add the crevices on the pumpkin. That will give it its distinct shape and make it look more like a pumpkin. So we're just mixing up the pigment. I still have that paint on my shoulder. Now I'm going in and creating the crevices of the pumpkin. So this painting is going to be completed in this video. So it's not going to be my most pristine and perfect work, but I wanted to paint something before your very eyes so you could see my process and some of my techniques. I hope you guys are enjoying this video. If you are, please give the video a like, and if you're new here, please subscribe because it really helps me out a lot and it really makes me happy when I see new subscribers. Sometimes I add too much pressure while painting with the easel, so it can be a little tricky for me at times, but I do change the way I paint. Sometimes I'll paint on a table, sometimes I'll be on the ground. Now I'm going in and creating the outline of the stem. I wanted the stem to be very exaggerated and whimsical and kind of fantasy-like, so it's not going to be your typical pumpkin stem, but watch how I do this. Again, I am using a reference picture, but that's just to glance at every so often, just for a couple more inspiration points of where to go next. I apologize if you can't see the stem that well, but if you can see it, it's tall and it curves over, and part of it is leading off of the canvas. Sometimes when I'm painting, I do second guess myself and I wonder if I should have made a certain decision or did something differently, but I think it's important to work with what you do and just to keep moving. So now I'm going in with a lighter green tone so I can give the stem more detail and a little bit more realism. So you guys can probably see the white color. It's more of a light green, but it's coming off as white on the camera. And this is just to give it some highlights and dimension. So see how much that did to the painting? Just that little bit of detail really brought the painting to life. And there we go. Now it's important to not add too many details, so it doesn't get messy. And that's something that I'm learning to do and learning to perfect. But I'm doing pretty well and I'm happy with how this is turning out. So I hope you guys are enjoying my voice. I know it's a little weird because it's usually me talking in front of the camera, but what do you think? I'm pretty happy with it. This is the completed pumpkin painting, and right now you're going to see me sign it because I always get a person that reminds me to sign my paintings. So I'm just going to show you guys how I sign my painting. So I just get a fine brush and some black paint and try to make it look as pretty as possible. Sometimes I'll just do my initials, RW, but in this one I'm painting Richie at the bottom right corner. So it will always be a piece of work done by me. Okay guys, well here is the finished painting. I'm going to call this the Whimsical Pumpkin, and if you're interested in it, please send me an email, and thank you so much for watching this video. Remember, if you enjoyed this, please give it a like, and if you're new here, please subscribe. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.